getting ready for the Ironman again this year, the second edition of it. You won that thing the first time ever last year, $20,000. That one of the wins you'll always remember.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool just for the fact that sprint car racing, a lot of people complain about we don't run enough laps or fuel stops or whatever, but to have a sprint car race go 55 laps, and I've never gone 55 laps before, that was pretty cool. And I think that showed that we can do it if we have to, and we can run longer races. And the race was an awesome race, and turned out really good for Casey Kane Racing, first and second. But it was definitely a race for myself. I'm glad I got to win the first one, because you can't always say you won the first one. So hopefully it's going to be around a while. And the Budweiser number 9 won the first one, so that's pretty cool.
55 laps. What do you have to do mentally to prepare for that?
Really, that time of year, just stay hydrated. You can get dehydrated pretty easy. The cars get really hot. 55 laps with these cars, with the rear ends and all that, right underneath you as a driver and the motor right in front of you, it gets really, really hot. And this time of year, here in South St. Louis, it gets really hot. So I think you have to be in pretty good shape. And I felt like I ran really hard from the first lap to the last lap, and that's pretty hard to do for 55 laps in one of these cars. So definitely you got to be in shape, and your cardio's got to be up, and you got to keep drinking water all day.
You won the first Ironman. What would it mean to win the second Ironman?
That'd be awesome. I mean, I think it's a race that fans want to see. Fans want to see sprint cars going 55 laps. I know my dad used to run a lot of big races like that. They talk about fuel stops and people complain about it, but they used to do it back in the old days. So, I mean, it's really no different. It's been away for a while. So when you do it again, it's kind of different. But the way they did it last year was awesome. You ran until they told you they felt like it was a fuel stop, filled up with fuel and went again. And it was done really fast. Everybody did their jobs fast, and it really didn't change the show. It kind of probably made it a little more interesting. And definitely now with double file restarts, it's really going to be interesting. So it's going to be a cool event.
Oh yeah, that's really tough. We've always did good in 40-lap races. 55 laps here definitely wears you out, and just got to try and pace yourself, and be in the right place at the end of the race, so you got a shot at winning.
55 this weekend. We come back in August, and it's the Ironman. 55 laps around this place. How do you deal with that?
Just first off is just to get it going. You got to keep going, and it's a long race, so you got a kind of a 2-race program there. You get to where you need to be in the first half, and then from there you start charging forward.
At the Ironman, obviously, last year was the first year, big crowd, faced 20,000 to win. Is that going to become a marquee event, you think?
I think it's a place for it, and I think it was a great start to it last year. And to do something like what they did there, I think this is definitely a place to do something like that. So 55 laps, on a racetrack like this produces some great racing, and it always seems to put on a good show for the fans. When you got a good racetrack. When you tackle 55 laps, I mean, you just you got to be prepared. Obviously, your team needs to make sure your car's ready to go, and the driver needs to be ready to go. So it's a long race. It's a grueling race, but there again, we always enjoy it.
What's your take on a 55-lap race around this place?
Well, I don't mind it. I sort of like the longer races. Just as long as the racetrack don't lay rubber on it, they're fun to run on. It is more laps, and we seem to run better in the longer races, so I sort of enjoy it myself.
How do you tackle a 55-lap race?
Both arms. We learned a couple of things there last year. We weren't sure what to do, and we made some bad decisions there last year. I think we started on the front of that thing and run about 10th with the wrong tire selection. So this year's going to be a little different, and we've got some knowledge, but at the same time we've got a new tire package this year, and I think that's the biggest key is the tires. So we'll have to see how it goes. We're going to come out a little bit differently this year, be a little more planned and ready for what we've done last year. But this place it just seems like no matter, even if you get out of shape one corner, it seems like you're right back in the race the next corner. It's just always something happening, and you hold your breath for 30, 40, 50 laps, whatever it may be. So I guess part of preparing for 50 laps is being able to hold your breath for that long. But it's quite the racetrack. It's very exciting, and I guess probably the most fun part about it is what the fans say when they come down afterwards, because it's always such an exciting race.